he talked about, wallahu a'lam, or maybe it came across me, about the crisis in our ummah of marrying outside of the faith. And subhanAllah, this is something, obviously, I was born and raised here too. So we, we had a lot of colleagues that went to, elementary school and then in high school and so on. And a lot of them married outside of the faith. They married kafir. And obviously, nowadays, how do you classify someone Ahl Kitab when they're believing in, ascribing partners with Allah? Anyhow, so this crisis is real. And the harms of this crisis is the children, they gravitate towards what's easy. So let's say someone married outside Islam. They married a kafir. They had children. The children gravitate towards what's easy. And Christianity is easy. Whatever else other than Islam seemingly is easy. So, but the problem is, by the time it comes to realization, it's too late. This is the issue. By the time it comes to realization, it's too late. And I want to help us identify some of the signs of this lead up. What leads up to this? So, number one, our children are spending time with kuffar. They're going to school 8 hours a day. They're working. So they're spending most of their time with non-Muslims. And so they're taking on that direct influence. Number two, there is a serious segregation in the Muslims. So for us, we don't visit, men and women don't mix. There is a segregation. The issue with that is the girls are unable to have any, or the guys, any exposure to one another. The exposure they're having from the opposite gender is from the kuffar. So I seen, subhanAllah, a couple weeks back, I was in Home Depot. There was a Muslim sister, young girl, probably in high school. She's wearing hijab. You can tell the girl's probably one of her first week on the job, maybe first month on the job. And I was purchasing something, and I noticed from a distance, there is a kafir person talking to her. And this kafir person is attempting to get her number. So I'm watching from a distance. What am I supposed to do? I have daughters too. Now the parents have no idea about this, obviously, what's happening. And neither is the girl probably good. Wallahu a'lam what the scenario is. Anyhow, and the girl, you can tell by the way her body language is, she's in the defensive. She has her hands here. She's talking to the guy, but her hands are here. This is a defensive, like stay away, step away. But that person, the kafir people, they know. The Muslim people are innocent, they're pushy. They continue to push. I left, I went outside. I sat in the parking lot for maybe half hour making dua for this sister. Wallahu a'lam, I don't even know her name. But because, what's the reason? I also have daughters. We have daughters too. So what's happening is another taboo. We are delaying marriage. So our children need to be married. We are delaying marriage. Now what happens is, if somebody from our culture and faith hooks up with someone and does something wrong, let's say, وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, in the community, it's a big taboo. It's a disgrace. Imagine we figured out, our son or daughter was doing something with someone else, even if they're Muslim. The parents say, oh no, I am disgraced. I have to move on. I have to do this. This is how the cultures are made up. But what happens if it's a kafir? Nothing. It's just like a snack, you have a slice of pizza and move on. That's the way it is, huh? It's like a snack, You have a piece of slice here, this one pepperoni today, tomorrow Hawaiian, and you move on. This is the way it is here. That's how they think about this. For us as believers, this is not the way it is. And the Prophet ﷺ, he highlighted why. Why is it? What's the most important thing in marriage? It is your iman. And what happens if you marry someone who does not have any iman? I'm telling us, I see family after family, subhanAllah, suffering from this issue. Family after family. And parents, they come and they say, but it's too late now. You need to identify the issues initially and fix them at that time. So my plea to myself first is, we need to work hard. If it's time for marriage, get the children married. Find them rightful spouses in the Islamic tradition. Nurture them. Tell them why it's important to marry. I've had people, subhanAllah, give me money, who don't have Muslim family members because they married into kafir. By Allah, I'm sitting here. I've had Muslim men come to me and say, Imam, here is money. When I die, make sure that you wash me, bury me, do all of this. This I'm talking about here. Why does that have to happen? Because they're fearful their relatives are going to burn them. It's the cheapest way. Tell the hospital, burn them and done. Just throw the ashes, decompose, done. So these are the issues. At the end, all of this happens. And then the children. So you have your janazas. Many of them I've seen myself. You have janazas. The Prophet ﷺ, what did he tell us? Someone who has a janazah of how many people? 40 people. 40 people attend a person's janazah, that person is forgiven. Sadly, even practicing Muslim families, we don't have 40 people in our janazahs. Why? You know what I'm saying? So why don't me and you are unable to have 40 people in our janazah? So even their own children, they want to take the easy way. Whatever is the easy way, they go that way. They gravitate towards that. It's a fitrah. We're living in that environment. So it's important that when our children are of the age of marriage, that we nurture them, talk to them, and we tell them how important this aspect of the deen of Allah is to maintain one's iman. And subhanAllah, this attack is on our ummah from every angle. And subhanAllah, you see like small snippets of influential people in the world and what they say, the kufr they utter from their mouth. Influential kafir people. They utter, and our children watch these. Obviously, they know what UFC is. They know what the sports are. They know what all these commentators are. I know. So if I'm watching them, and obviously when I'm picking up the hidden kufr and hidden messages inside of their speech. And for our children, it's simply like this. For a mind that is not nurtured properly, it's simple like this. The question of iman and kufr, just like that. And this has happened to myself, I'm telling you. Just yesterday, I'm sitting there and I watched a video of an influential personality. And his statement sounded accurate, but it was 100% kufr, what he said. Look, and I'll give you one easy example to say this. We see our children singing, it's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Huh? This kufr. What does it mean? It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. Basically, God is the old man who is controlling this rain, is snoring, so it's raining. It's pissing rain. All of this is kufr. This is a big issue in our speech. Why can't we say it's spitting rain or rain is a rahmah? But it has to say it's pissing rain. And all of these, study them in their background. This all comes from the indoctrination of kufr into our children. So it's so critical. Our children, they don't even notice that. They walk around, hey, it's raining, it's pouring. And I'm like, no, be careful. Don't say that. That's wrong. Right? And this is a easy example to understand. The example that I listened to yesterday, I'm not even going to share because it goes into deep thought. Right? So it's important that we protect our iman at any stake. And one of the biggest decisions of longevity of iman is the nikah, and it has to be done in Islamic tradition to maintain this chain of iman in Islam in the families. And remember, when Islam has focused so much on establishing the family institution, Islam has focused so much on establishing a family institution, and when you have two separate faiths marrying together, particularly in the context of today, you destroy that. You destroy that. And from my colleagues who we grew up, who married into kafir families, not a single one of them is married today except one. And I'm telling you, there's dozens of them. They all have children, all divorced. The wife says, honey, you're not as hot as you used to be. And she moves on. Right? This is a different culture. It's a different life setup. For us, we have to take it to Jannah or Jahannam. We take it all the way till the end. To death we part. They say it, but there's nothing behind there. For us, the Prophet ﷺ told us, you carry all these spouses are going to enter that Jannah together as spouses. So this is what we carry our relationships to. For these people, it's like a snack. So our idea of marriage is different. It's constant ibadah. This is one of the ibadahs. There's only a few ibadah where you get 24 hours of reward. Only a few. One of them is being in the nikah, because when you're sleeping, you're still in nikah. Any other something else someone can think of? Anything else? Anybody? Nobody? Nothing? All right, we'll leave that with you. Maybe something you can ponder over. Is there any other ibadah that you get 24 hours of reward for? Revolving reward, basically. Nikah is one of them. Right? So, and there's many more, but there's something, inshallah, you can think about. So we had a question. I think the brother had his hand up. You had your hand up?
Aren't men only supposed to marry like non-Muslim women if there are no like Muslim women inside the area, but women aren't allowed to marry non-Muslim men?
Sorry, I didn't get the question.
So only Muslim men are allowed to marry non-Muslim women, but only like as a last resort if there's no Muslim women inside the area, correct?
Yeah, but we have lots of, mashallah, Muslim women.
Don't worry about that.
I don't think we have this worry. Because the Muslims, mashallah, if you look at the stats, Muslims have much more children than the non-Muslims. So you're going to have lots of variety. Mashallah, if anybody's interested in their children getting married, try to reach out, because there's a lot of people who want to get married here. And they do come forth, but then, I know it's a taboo topic, but eventually we have to do something, right? So if you need to find a spouse, be it a guy or a girl, reach out. Inshallah, we'll find that for you, right? So yeah. Yes, brother. Alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
I just have a suggestion. So, alhamdulillah, jazakallah khairan. I really appreciate you for most of these stuff that you usually bring up. So, because this environment we have a lot of virus around the house, so which is spreading rapidly. So, I think one thing I would want to suggest with regards to our mothers, I mean the mother of our children. So, if this kind of alcohol could be bring up among them, because they spend more time with the children than women.
Yeah.
So I don't know, due to the situation of the country here, like what I mentioned the other time, that you have mother and father, they are working,
Yeah.
and even some people work overnight, and they don't have time for the children. If you leave a sheep astray, of course, it will be attacked by wolf.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we need to keep reminding us, not women only, but the women as well,